Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you in to NCAA Division II women's basketball coverage, streaming exclusively on Flow College. In the final game of our 2025 Women's Basketball East Region Conference Challenge, the College of Staten Island Dolphins take on the Purple Knights of St. Michael's College. Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, my name is Joe Foreman, alongside Nicholas Pavona. And Nick, you and I, the Ironmen of Sportsnet. We've been here all weekend long. Game 9 of 9 as the Dolphins take the floor here at home for the second time this year. They are 1-0 coming in after a win over Franklin Pierce yesterday. St. Michael's 0-1 after they fell to Holy Family in our first women's game, or I should say their first game of the season, our second women's game last night. But these two teams, both in action yesterday. What were your takeaways from those games for these two sides?
Well, we saw St. Michael's in that game, Joe, taking out Holy Family. A big difference in that game was a lot of second chance opportunities for Holy Family, which we just saw in that last game between them and Franklin Pierce. And give credit to St. Michael's. They fought in that game. They were not going to stop until the very final whistle. They made things interesting. They made it a 10-point game at one point in that second half. It got away from them at the very tail end, but that Purple Knights team showed that they have some fight in them coming into this season, so we'll see how they come back and face off against this Dolphins team today. And you talk about the Dolphins and what they did yesterday in their win over Franklin Pierce. Of course, the two big headlines from that game were two of the newest Dolphins in their program, Shunye Edmonds as well as Raki Kane. Monster performances, both with over 20 points in that game as well. 9 rebounds in that game as well. Kyra Rose also added 9 rebounds and 9 points. So a very dominant performance for the Dolphins on the glass in that game. We saw what Taylor Hinkle from Holy Family did against his Purple Knights team yesterday in terms of rebounding numbers. Can the Dolphins duplicate that here in this game today?
And taking a look at what the Dolphins did yesterday, you mentioned the performances of Kane and Edmonds, and we talked about it in the past. When we watch this Dolphins team, something that was lacking many times is 2 of their scores being dialed in the same game. And that was something they corrected last year, in large part due to some of their transfer players. Those players have now graduated along with Jenelise Alarcon. And in game 1 of a season where your roster has had a great deal of turnover, you get 2 newcomers to contribute 20 points. That has to feel pretty good for this Dolphins team. As a unit, they shot in the game yesterday around the 20. Well, actually, this is the Dolphins right here. I tried to pull up the stats, and for some reason, we have the wrong names in the box score, Nick. So I'm looking at the stats. There we go, 39%. But we had the wrong names populated in the box score for some reason. Not sure how that happened. We're good, however. Dolphins shot 39%, 15% from downtown, but they did very well defensively, holding Franklin Pierce sub 30% shooting, sub 23% from beyond the arc. So Nicole Sarcone, very pleased with the offense, of course, but she really praised this team's defense when talking to Nick at halftime, and she was very happy with the defensive effort from her team yesterday.
It's something that she should also be happy with, and she talked about it a little bit as well in that interview. The tempo of the Dolphins' offense also was something to note of in that game. They had a lot of good tempo in that matchup. They were getting pretty quickly up the court. As soon as they got a rebound, they found an outlook pass, found someone on the other side of the court, and got an easy bucket. So that's something to note as well. Kane is capable of doing that because she had a lot of instances in that game where she would grab a rebound and would either take the ball herself and pass it, or she would find someone up the court and pass it herself. So that's something to note too. This Dolphins team might have changed their mentality and their strategy for the season in terms of going more fast-paced, trying to find someone very quickly throughout the entirety of the game and find those open looks, and it showed in that game last night against the Ravens.
Dolphins scored 67 in the game, 36 in the paint, 18 off of turnovers. And shifting our focus to St. Michael's very quickly before we meet the starting lineups, taking a look at what they did yesterday. We mentioned earlier that despite the final score, 71-55, a 16-point loss, they did make it interesting late in the fourth quarter, but they're going to have to step it up just a bit offensively. They shot pretty well, 42%, but they did not have a single player in double figures last night. They were just 5 of 19 from downtown and did not take many free throws at all, just 4 for 9 from the line. So they'd like to change that here this afternoon against the Dolphins, and in just a few moments, we'll meet the starters for these two teams, and I do have those starting lineups in front of me. We are getting them via the live stats. So for the Dolphins, the starting 5, Ariel Stitchy Barnes, Dana Phelan, Shanye Edmonds, Kyra Rose, and Racky Kane. On the other side for St. Michael's College, the starters are Ruby Santos, Molly Brophy, again only first initials in the live stats, so we're going back and forth here, Jayla Tyler, Amber Furch, and Ashley Talbot. That's the starting five for the Purple Knights here this afternoon. And Nick, if you're the Dolphins, you're pleased with what you did last night. What worked so well? What are they looking to continue? You mentioned the scoring. I mentioned the defense. Anything more detailed that you picked out from last night's matchup that you think the Dolphins will look to replicate here today?
I think it's going to come down to, can the Dolphins expose the Purple Knights somewhat inside of the glass? Because I mentioned the numbers that the Tigers had yesterday in terms of rebounding. Can the Dolphins somewhat duplicate that tally in this game? It'll be interesting because we saw instances of that with Edmonds and Kane and Rose. They had great offensive numbers and as well as rebounding numbers in that game. So can they do that again in this game and expose that? Or can the Purple Knights, can they win that mentality? Can they get inside of the glass, get those rebounds that were really plaguing them in that game? And can they maybe pull off a big win in this game? Both teams, looking, of course, for St. Michael's, they're looking for their first win of the year. The Dolphins looking to go to 2-0 on the season, and it would give CSI a 2-0 mark in both the men's record as well as the women's record as well.
And we talked about St. Michael's last night, making the game a bit interesting down the stretch, got to within 10. And there's a big reason why they did that. And it's quite simple, actually, Nick. You take a look at the shooting numbers in the second half. They were much better in the second half. They shot 16 of 29 in the second half, including 7 of 12 in the third, 9 of 17 in the fourth. During the first two quarters, they shot just 7 of 26. They were only 2 of 9 from 3 in the first half, 3 of 10 in the second half, so a slight improvement there. But if they can carry over that second half shooting performance from yesterday into today's game, perhaps they put themselves in a good position to steal a win on the road against this Dolphins team. And Nick, speaking of debuts, we've had many of them this weekend for the teams assembling here at the College of Staten Island. Dolphins debuting some new uniforms today.
Yeah, I'm liking the uniform set that they have here, the light blue. First time we've seen this. I'm sure we'll see it a lot more this season.
Now, what do we call it? Columbia blue, Carolina blue.
I would say Carolina blue.
So I learned the other day, didn't know this previously, and I'll elaborate after this possession. Brophy swings it to the wing. This is Santos. Shot clock down to 12. Furch into the corner. This is Talbot outside for Brophy. He backs in. Three-pointer for Tyler. Rolls off. So I learned that Columbia, CSI, and North Carolina all have color codes that are approximately 1 digit apart. So you know how we have the numerical color codes?
Yes.
Ours are 1 digit separated from those two programs as Shanye Edmonds is on the board early. Dolphins lead 2-0 on the basket by Edmonds, and there's a strong move by Furch, but you couldn't finish. Rose banks it in.
How many times have we seen that from Kyra Rose over her Dolphins career? Getting that pass and just immediately going up the court and finishing.
And Nick, I did figure out why I was perplexed by the box score earlier. At the bottom of the box score, as the Dolphins force a turnover, Stitchy Barnes up the floor, slowed down in the corner. But what confused me is at the bottom of the box score, there were a bunch of zeros and ones for the minutes played of the Dolphin reserves. And when the Dolphins cleared the bench late in the game, I'd completely forgotten that happened.
Yeah.
So when I saw the names at the bottom of the box score, I'm like, wait a minute.
Something's up.
A lot of ones and zeros down here. You don't often see a player with a 0 in the minutes column in the box score. I thought it rounded up to 1, but there were a couple of zeros, if I'm not mistaken, down there. So I was completely thrown off. So just 3 1s and a 0.
Foul was called on Edmonds.
So this is what I saw, Nick. Take a look at it.
Yes. Yeah, we did see a couple of the Dolphins enter very late in that game with a couple seconds left.
Had my mind on breaking down a bit too early. Inbound into heavy traffic. Santos to the floor.
Jump ball.
And jump ball is called. Possession arrow will favor the Dolphins here. So Dolphins early in this game doing a good job making things difficult on the Purple Knights. That will go down as a St. Michael's turnover. Second of the game. Rose on the wing. Crosses over. Gets inside.
Offensive foul.
Commits an offensive foul.
No basket. No basket. Offensive foul. The goal goes against number 4.
Yeah, Rose using a lot of her body on that play, but a little bit too much of it as she gets the foul, her first of this game.
This is Furch, entry pass inside for Tyler, and she travels.
Just when the Purple Knights get the ball back, they turn it right back over.
Third turnover already. Phelan in the corner. This start, similar to what the Dolphins did yesterday. They shut the Ravens out for a few minutes in that game. I think it took about 3.5 minutes for Franklin Pierce to score as Rose banks in that one.
Kyra had 9 points last night, already has 4 to start this first quarter.
6-0 Staten Island. Nice start for the Dolphins thus far. Santos is fouled by Barnes.
It's already 3 fouls on the Dolphins, almost 3 minutes into this quarter.
It's a good memory I have, Nick. It did take the Ravens 4.5 minutes to score last night.
Very
Or
nice.
3.5, as I said, 3.5.
Almost,
Memory's not that good. Not that good.
almost had it.
I did say 3.5 initially, right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. An indictment on my math skills. First basket at 6:33 last night for Franklin Pierce. 3 minutes gone by in the first quarter here. Furch with the runner. No good. Tyler's bank shot won't go. And Santos ran out of time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that one was going to count.
The officials are going to talk about it.
Do you have the replay of it?
Well, they can't look at that.
I know they
but
can't look
we
at it.
can.
Slow it down. And it's shot clock violation. That's the right call.
Did they get it right?
They did.
That is a 30-second
You're very confident.
shot clock violation. The ball will go to CSI.
Not close. Knew it all along.
Yeah. No need to second guess on that one.
Edmonds hands off. Phelan, short on the 3. And that's taken by Kane. That pass tipped and stolen.
Yeah, Brophy fell, but was able to get the steal after the tip.
That shot inside comes up short.
Rejected right there by Edmonds. Nice defensive play.
Glad you could see it, Nick. You have the better angle to the left side of the floor than I do.
There was a lot of bodies in there.
I can't remember my view ever being this obstructed as Kane pushed
Offensive
off.
foul, yeah.
That's a good call. No doubt about that one.
Offensive foul. The ball. It goes against CSI's number
Dolphins
5, Kane.
turn it over there, but they've held the Purple Knights without a basket now for nearly 4 minutes.
A second look at that block by Edmonds. The Dolphins give it right back after the offensive foul. That's their now 4th foul. We are approaching the media timeout, but they are now approaching the Purple Knights getting into the bonus.
And that could really help with how they've struggled to score so far. And
Right on cue.
commentators' jinx strikes again. Margaret Montpleasure from downtown, and that opens the scoring for St. Mike's.
She had a couple points last night off the bench. Comes off the bench. She gets a nice 3 right there.
Rose out to Phelan. 12 to shoot. Kane with the screen. Phelan steps back. Off from 3. Furch up the floor. Crosses over. Kicks out.
3
And
second.
that is a quick 3 seconds.
Very quick.
The ball will go to CSI.
The ball was barely across the half-court line for 3 seconds.
Let's see.
Power of replay.
Yeah, looking at it, I mean, as soon as she got to half court, the player was in the restricted area, but
Well,
that was very quick.
I don't think that count begins until the ball comes across half court.
Yeah. It's as if the count started as soon as she reached.
Yeah, that was really quick. Kane fouled on the entry pass. First team foul against the Purple Knights.
3 seconds off, Joe.
St. Michael's.
There's our 503.
There's the 503. Do we get the 504 at some point now?
First team foul.
For those who did not tune into game one, we had a stoppage at 5:01 in the first quarter, at 5:02 in the second quarter, and now we get our 5:03 here in game number 2.
Just a couple quarters late.
Barnes throws one up and nearly in. It rattles out. She'll try again. No good. And the rebound was pulled in by Saplicki.
So now a little bit of a slow start for the Dolphins after getting a couple quick points. Their offense got a little bit cold.
Talbot kicks out. This is Tyler, and she traveled. Well, Purple Knights plagued by turnovers early in this game. That's number 6. The Dolphins also have 4 turnovers of their own. And that last one will send us to immediate timeout. Low-scoring first quarter. Dolphins lead 6-3. .437 to go in the opening quarter from the tank. Dolphins lead at 6-3. St. Michael's was held without a basket for over 4 minutes before they got on the board. Dolphins in a bit of a drought offensively as well, and Barnes can't bring that to an end. Dolphins haven't scored in almost 3 minutes themselves. Open shot in the corner for Franchi, no good. This is Edmonds, bounce pass inside for Rose, and she can't finish. But Kyra has the rebound off her own miss. She's tied up and fouled. And we saw that a lot yesterday. The Dolphins get the rebound, work it up the floor quickly. They've been playing with a lot of pace. And they've done a really good job of connecting on those long transition outlet passes. And maybe some blood here.
Yeah, Rose will have to check out, so Dorothy Weesey looks like she's going to check in.
Cut on the wrist, it appears, for Kyra Rose. A bit tougher in the women's game, but Nick, whenever I play pickup, I will not play with somebody who does not trim their fingernails. As that's banked in by Racky. Kane, count the basket, and one.
Immediately right off of that inbound, the Dolphins get and find Kane, and Weesey checks into the game and immediately gets an assist.
That's now 3 team fouls on the Purple Knights as well. You mentioned before the Dolphins were 1 away from the penalty. And Kane completes the 3-point play. Dolphins back in front by 6. That's snapped. A scoreless stretch of over 3 minutes for CSI. Talbot back up top. Franchi off the jab step, kicks it out once again. Montpleasure for 3, she's short. Tyler has the rebound, looks to go up with it, and banks it in.
That was a tough bucket by Tyler right there.
She was all sorts of tied up in traffic there. Edmonds immediately to the rim off the long inbound.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. The Dolphins, immediately right after giving up the 2, they go down the court quickly with a fast-paced offense and score.
Corner 3, Montpleasure rattles it in.
Their second 3 of this first quarter. Back to a 3-point game.
Montpleasure leading the way in scoring for St. Mike's. She has 6. Tyler with the other 2. This is Weesey. Bounce pass for Edmonds off the mark. It's stolen easily. Here comes Talbot the other way. Being given some room. Kicks out. It's an open 3. Montpleasure can't connect this time. Tyler with another offensive rebound. Puts it back up and in.
How about Tyler these last couple of minutes? A couple of offensive rebounds. And another tough bucket. It's a 1-point game.
Dolphins once again up the floor quickly off the inbound. Purple Knights ready for it this time. Phelan able to corral it. Pulls up on the baseline and gets the bounce.
Oh, but tough buckets. How about that one by Phelan right there? Almost lost the pass. Was able to hold on to it and get that floater.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Dolphins by 3. And a foul is called on Kane. That will put the Purple Knights in the bonus.
Fouls on CSI number 5, Racky Kane. For Kane, that is her second.
And for Kane, that's foul number 2.
I was going to say, I think that was foul number 2, so she'll have to check out, as well as Barnes will check out. So the Dolphins will have a couple of new players in.
Kane with 2, Rose, Edmonds, and Barnes each with 1. Jayla Tyler to the line, off on the first. Second free throw is good. It's now a 2-point game.
Into the lineup for St. Michael's number 31, Ava McDonough.
McDonough will check in, the senior.
And down goes to Phelan. And that pass was too high for Juliana Ditto.
I think that was one of those, Joe, where Ditto was looking ahead instead of the catch. That's why the pass wasn't there. It was a bit high, don't get me wrong. But she was not looking at the ball as the pass was being made.
Back to the basket, Santos, hands off, Montpleasure. Birch around the back up top, and inside to Santos.
Looking for that mismatch.
And she made that look easy.
Basket by number 20.
We saw plenty of that last night, Nick.
Yeah. Santos using that size on and worked as Ditto turns the ball over. And here comes numbers for the Purple Knights.
Montpleasure to the basket.
Offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
Nice job by Weesey to cover that one down after the turnover.
No
And
basket.
it keeps this game tied.
Offensive foul against number 15 of St. Michael's.
You have to be careful, Nick. I've already made the mistake more than once this week. You have count the basket signal and then a fist forward for the offensive foul. Maybe if I was elevated. As
Not again.
Weesey.
How many more games are we going to be able to get away with that?
Weesey travels.
We'll see.
Wouldn't it be something if we put the equipment in the middle and you and I are elevated in the bleachers? Sitting in the third or fourth row. Those familiar with the tank are aware of where Nick and I are seated on game day.
Tank has been an igloo this week with the weather outside.
Well, we were told not to say that many years ago as Santos banks
Sorry,
it in.
I had to say it.
It is cool in here. It's very chilly. If I was out there on the floor, I'd be pleased with it. But I'm used to it, so I'm dressed appropriately.
I had a funny story about that last night, actually, with Khalil Shorter, the men's basketball coach. Told the referees, I've got the heater button, I can turn it on, but I need to keep these players cold.
Here you go. Dolphins turn it over, and a travel is whistled against Brophy, and she had no idea.
That also seemed very
She
quick.
thought she was fouled.
Yeah. Awfully quiet.
Purple Knights lead by 2. I was actually listening in. Wasn't sure if it was instruction coming from the bench or if it was perhaps a dispute of that call. And the Dolphins
turnover.
turn it over again. Dolphins have 10 turnovers here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that has been something that's been very troubling in this first quarter. Too many turnovers are a big reason why St. Michael's now has the lead. 5-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
Two teams have combined for 18 turnovers in the first 10 minutes. Brophy off the fake and throws it away.
There's another one.
Well, we had another 18 seconds, Nick. Make that 19 turnovers.
Yeah. Dolphins are hoping not to get to 20 on this next possession.
They are certainly hoping that they can keep the tally right where it is.
Have a chance at the final shot right here. Try to tie or take the lead before the end of the quarter.
Phelan turns it over and blocks the
block.
shot. Nearly had it stripped away again. Phelan heaves it, and you could make the case she was fouled there.
Definitely could have made the case there.
But I'm for the no call in those situations. We're through one. 20 turnovers in the first 10 minutes and 28 points on the board. It's St. Michael's over Staten Island, 15-13. Second quarter getting underway from the College of Staten Island. St. Michael's over Staten Island, 15-13. Dolphins got out to a 6-0 lead, but Purple Knights turned things around at the midway point of that first quarter, and they lead after a sloppy first period. Tyler's shot, no good. Putback attempt, also no good by Santos. And
foul.
There's a quick foul committed by the Purple Knights. And
Traveling.
Wow. I thought they called a foul.
I thought they did too. They are not hesitating.
Well, they got us both that time,
Yeah.
Nick. It wasn't just me this time.
They are not hesitating to call the whistle very quickly.
Possession right back to the Purple Knights.
Another turnover for CSI in this game.
Furch drives the baseline, gets inside, and finishes with the left.
Tough bucket by Furch. You mentioned it. Had to switch hands for that one. And it's
Looked
now
like-
a 4-point lead.
Looked like she switched hands at the last second, mid-flight.
Yeah, she did.
Edmonds rolls off. Dolphins have really looked to get shots up quickly on most possessions. We said it yesterday. Whether it's the inbound pass or in transition off a rebound.
3-second
There's another 3-second violation, as you said, Nick. I can't recall the last time we saw two 3-second calls in a game.
That one wasn't as, I felt, we said quick earlier, but.
Well, what struck me on the previous one is that they had just crossed half court.
Right. That one seemed like seen in fairness, but yeah, I agree. As there's another Dolphin turnover.
Gemma Singer checked in and immediately had it stripped away.
By number 10.
I was going to say, I think Nicole Sarko's going to have to call a timeout.
It's a nice start to the second quarter for the Purple Knights. They've scored first 4 points here in the second period and now lead it by 6. We head to break. St. Michael's over Staten Island, 19-13. .8:40 to go, second quarter, as Nicole Sarcone was forced to call timeout just 80 seconds into the period, and Dolphins can't convert there. But Edmonds on the second try is also off on what was a wild shot. Franchi racing up the floor, finds an open Santos in the corner, but that three-pointer won't go. Another offensive board for the Purple Knights here.
Yeah, they have been aggressive on the glass in this game.
Sixth offensive rebound of the game for St. Michael's, and they now lead by a game-high 8 points.
Great cut to the basket after that offensive rebound, and yeah, they have really been doing great numbers these last couple of minutes. The Dolphins, as I mentioned, have been getting ice cold shooting as well as the turnovers that are plaguing them right now in this half.
Both teams have been hamstrung by turnovers, and Purple Knights so far have been the more efficient team from the field, as Barnes knocks down the mid-range jumper.
That's the bucket the Dolphins needed right there. Makes it a 6-point gain. Now looking for a stop here this next possession.
This is Talbot with it. Now Tyler. Three-pointer on the way, and Franchi knocks it down.
Three-pointer by number 10, Bella Franchi.
Big shot by Franchi there. 9-point game now.
Dolphins turn it over, and Furch lost it inside, but was knocked away by Rose.
Fouls, the ball will stay with St. Michael's. Back in the game for the Purple Knights, number 14, Kelly Saplicki, number 15, Martin Montpleasure.
Saplicki and Montpleasure will check back in for the Purple Knights. Santos and Furch to the bench. Dorothy Weesey in for the Dolphins as well. CSI now trails by 9, and you can make it 12. Margaret Montpleasure from the top of the arc.
Montpleasure's been automatic so far in the first half from the three-point line. A double-digit deficit for CSI.
Purple Knights are now 5 of 8 from the field and 2 of 3 from downtown.
And Joe, look at the scorers table. Dolphins are going to go with an entirely new unit next whistle.
Phelan deep three, no good. Sure the bench didn't like that shot. That was from long range. Talbot gets inside and finishes with the scoop.
They won't like that either. Talbot pretty much just went coast to coast on that play.
That's too easy. Three-pointer, Barnes, no good. And the Dolphins will bring in 5 new bodies.
Yeah, nothing just seems to be falling right now for this team. It's after a nice start to this game, the Dolphins just have not been able to find any shots going in.
Into the game for the Dolphins, Maya McKee, Jasani Francis Torres, Raki Kane, Ariana Davis, and Nyla Davis. That'll be fun to call. Davis to Davis. Floater there, no good. And that was tipped out of bounds by McDonough.
bounds, CSI possession.
Well, the Dolphins are hoping for some kind of spark. We saw it in the Tournament of Heroes. Stack did this, where they would sub in 5 new guys, sub out 5, and it worked in that game for them. And against Assumption. Now, obviously at the end result, it wasn't a win for them, but it helped them get back in that game. So the Dolphins are hoping for the same.
Dolphins work it to the baseline. Pull-up jumper too strong by Francis Torres. Purple Knights up the floor quickly. Franchi inside. Saplicki passes out of a triple team, and the extra pass finds an open Talbot. She cannot connect. Davis to Davis. Perhaps the first of many. Pair of freshmen for this Dolphins squad.
Davis saves again.
Pass to the corner, 3 to shoot. Spin move, and it got away from Davis on the baseline. The Dolphins need to clean up the turnovers, as that one is good over McKee, who looked like she had gotten there.
Yeah, I thought for initially she might have been able to block that, but a shot. It's a 16-point lead now for St. Michael's.
That's the second pass in as many Dolphin possessions to Kane that came right at us before she grabbed it.
Okay, get ready to protect the equipment.
McKee backing in, goes up with the left and can't finish off the window.
Got another shot just hitting off of that rim. It's not falling in for CSI right now.
There's a lid on that basket right now. The Dolphins are 1 of 8.
3.
And Saplicki's too strong, but the Dolphins 1 of 8 from the field here in the second quarter.
And although that was a miss, that's something that's really got to be frustrating for CSI to allow that to happen.
Kane commits another offensive foul, and that's her third.
Yeah, she's going to have to sub out now.
Big time trouble for the Dolphins now, and a big decision for Nicole Sarcone. Looks like she's going to stay in the game for now. And that's really a testament to the position the Dolphins are in at the moment, trailing by 16.
Yeah, normal circumstance, I think you would sub her out, but down 16, you need something right now, some kind of spark. So she remains in with 3. And if I'm St. Michael's, I'm trying to attack.
Coach Sarcone not happy with the official following that last call. They had a heated exchange in front of the Dolphins bench.
And another 3-pointer.
That was Brooklyn Taylor from the corner, and right now the Purple Knights are firing on all cylinders. Everybody who touches it is finding ways to put the ball in the basket.
This looked like Holy Family last game in the second half. It just seems like every open shot at the 3-point line is going in.
Dolphins now trail by 19.
And another foul.
Nothing going right for CSI right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunately been a very sloppy first half for the Dolphins.
Mickey, that's her first. Second team foul on the Dolphins.
Kay now will have to sub out after that third foul she committed earlier.
That will bring Kyra Rose off the Dolphins bench. Brophy bounce pass and received it right back, and Montpleasure left open again. Can't make the Dolphins pay this time.
That's going to be St. Michael's ball, though.
Out of bounds, the ball will stay with.
Well, we mentioned last night how the Purple Knights struggled a bit with the size of Holy Family. They've been asserting themselves in this game.
That was one of the talking points I made earlier, where if they were able to flip the script from last night, they have a great chance in this game, and they have certainly done that so far.
We said it in the early going. It was quite simple. They shot it much better in the second half as a travel is called, and we have an aspiring official at the stats desk. Did you see that?
I did not.
Joe Calabrese making the hand gesture for a travel.
Oh, no.
He's aspiring.
Yeah.
His stripes are horizontal. He can't do that. Wearing a striped Dolphins polo, but those stripes are in the wrong direction.
We do have someone wearing a official
That is
shirt.
true. Our official bookkeeper, Alberto, looks more like an official than perhaps even the referees do. He has the traditional black and white striped shirt. Rose backing in. Gets the roll, and boy, do the Dolphins need that.
They needed some type of roll because it hasn't been working the last couple of minutes. Rose, the leading scorer for the Dolphins in this game. Can they cut this deficit, Joe, for the half? They needed to get to within a certain number to have a chance.
Santos Nice bounce pass inside, but Taylor couldn't corral it. Here comes Kyra Rose all the way to the rim, and she was stripped. Good hands there by Furch. And that should be Dolphins ball.
Yeah, initially they said it was going to be off of Rose, but it will stay with CSI. So Edmonds will check back in.
Shania Edmonds will check back in, replacing McKee. This is Rose. And a foul is called near the top of the arc.
Fouls on St. Michael's number 20, Ruby Santos.
Foul on Santos.
Santos, that is her first personal foul. Second team foul on the
That
Purple
is her
Knights.
first and the second team foul.
Back in the game for the Purple Knights, number 24, Jayla Tyler.
Jayla Tyler will check back in. $18 to shoot for the Dolphins as we approach 2 minutes to go here in the first half. And Edmonds draws a foul.
Fouls on St. Michael's number 21, Brooklyn Taylor.
Foul on Brooklyn Taylor.
Third team foul.
Her first and the team's third. That free throw way off.
More free throw for Shania Edmonds.
Edmonds knew it as soon as she released it.
And remember, Joe, that's something we talked about last night. Something that the Dolphins were looking to improve this season was their free throw shooting.
No question about it. Second free throw good. It's a 1 of 2 trip to the line.
Now I'll ask you, Joe, what is the number you think the Dolphins need to get this to it then before the halftime?
I don't think they need to worry about that just yet. Of course, you don't want the deficit to grow past a certain number. I would say you need to stay within 20 by halftime. Just make sure you get to the half without this lead growing any further and then regroup because they got off to a great start. We know they can get stops. They need to clean things up, especially with the turnovers, and defensively there have been some lapses as well.
A lot of that inside of the paint and the outside arc has been a great first half shooting-wise for St. Michael's. So it's a nice block by Tyler.
It almost seems like the quickness with which the Dolphins are playing offensively is working against them in this game. Brophy drives to her left, lost it on the way up. Tyler got her hands on it, and it was last touched by Davis.
The ball will stay with St. Michael's.
This next minute 15 going to tell us a lot about where this game is headed in the second half, I think, Nick.
An immediate, looks like a violation or a foul off. Yep, it was a foul.
Number 24, Jayla Tyler, her first.
Tyler picks up
fourth
personal.
foul on the Purple Knights.
Just over a minute to play, first half. Dolphins trail by 18 points. This is Barnes, and that's a nice move to finish with the floater.
Yeah, a tough one right there by Barnes. She gets that floater to fall. Under a minute to go.
Santos outside. This is Brophy. Into the corner. Taylor travel.
This is what you want. You got the bucket, now you get the turnover. Can they get some points again on this next drive? I say drive as if we're playing football or watching football, but next possession.
Barnes brings it up. Dolphins could go 2 for 1 if they hurry, but looks like time's going to run out on that opportunity. Or perhaps not. Phelan short on the 3. That would have been a big one.
Ball still loose.
Ball loose on the floor. Weesey has it. And jump ball is called. We'll stay right here.
I feel like eventually they were going to have to call that jump ball.
Dolphins will have 20 on the shot clock with 24.6 remaining in the half. So inbound from the baseline, Rose looking. Can't find anybody, and
Dolphins got a big break right there with
Well,
that foul call.
This is exactly what I meant, Nick, when I said the next 1:15 would tell us a lot about where this game is headed, because St. Michael's had a chance to extend the lead to 20 or beyond. And Dolphins get the stop, they score, force a turnover on the inbound. We had the foul occur, get the ball back, and now they're at the free throw line. I think if you're the Dolphins, you'll take a 14-point deficit at half if they can trim the lead down here. Done it again, Nick.
Yep. There's a reason why I stay quiet on free throws. Second free throw attempt by Weesey here. And it just rolls out, but a lane violation. Second life.
Not sure who the guilty party was, but I did hear her apologize. I heard a sorry. Whether or not that was a result of the lane violation, I'm not sure, but sure seemed that way. And Weesey capitalizes on a third opportunity from the stripe. Taylor with it. Purple Knights can hold for the last shot, leading by 15. 8 seconds remaining in the half. Brophy dribbles to her left, and she is wide open. Can't connect. And the Dolphins will get 2 more free throws to end the half.
Wow.
Foul, St. Michael's number 21, Brooklyn Taylor, her second. Purple Knights over the limit.
So Brophy had a wide open three, not able to get it down. And now, as you mentioned, CSI will get 2 free throws with a second remaining in the half.
If you're the Dolphins, you can't ask for much more in the last minute. But Barnes can't hit the free throw.
Yeah, they have to capitalize on these free throws because it's going to be realistically one of the ways they can get back into this game.
Second free throw from Barnes is good. It's a 14-point game with 1 second on the clock. Furch looks up and will not attempt to heave, as that will send us to halftime. Our score at the break: St. Michael's 36, Staten Island 22. Our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report with women's basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone coming up. And we're joined by women's basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone for our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. Coach got off to a 6-0 start. Game began to get away, but a strong finish to the half. What are you looking to carry into the second half and change to get back closer in this game?
I mean, well, your definition and my definition of strong are clearly different there, Joe. We got to take care of the basketball. 17 turnovers, and they scored 21 points off of our 17 turnovers. Right now, they're the team with the physicality. We are playing soft. We have to be okay with being a little bit uncomfortable and be stronger. So we got to come out and play the way we played last night. A lot of the things we did last night are not on the floor right now.
And when you substituted in a whole new unit, what did you see that upset you, and what did that unit do that maybe change things just a bit late in the half?
No effort. I mean, I'm okay with missing shots. I'm okay with some turnovers, but when our hands are down on shooters who just knock down shots and we're not talking and communicating through screens like we did last night, which should be our standard, that's not acceptable.
All right, thanks, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. Women's basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone joining us for our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. When we come back for the second half, Nick and I rejoin the call with the Dolphins trailing at the break.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We've learned a lot from him, and we've probably learned more from him than he's learned from us.
I think they're a real important part in my life. I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact is a national nonprofit that connects kids living with serious and chronic illness with college athletic teams, forming lifelong bonds and life-changing outcomes.
Give me a break it! Break it!
Can I have a hug? Oh.
favorite subject?
Math.
When you spread the word about Team Impact, you have the power to change lives.
And we are back from the tank for the start of the third quarter with St. Michael's leading the College of Staten Island 36-22. And Nick, we got a chance to speak with women's basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone at halftime. We mentioned it before the break. Her team out to an early 6-0 lead. St. Michael's then took control of the game, but late in that half, the Dolphins able to chip away just a bit. Purple Knights are on the verge of a 20-point lead. Instead, they go into the half leading by just 14. That finish to the half, not strong enough for Coach Sarcone's liking.
And that won't help either. Another turnover by CSI in this game.
Yeah, without a doubt, the Dolphins needed to clean up the turnovers coming into this third quarter, and they immediately throw it away. But it's been more than just the turnovers that have hurt the Dolphins in this game.
Yeah, they get it right back, though.
Dolphins forced 15 turnovers in the first half as Rose could not finish. Barnes has the rebound. Kick out to Edmonds. Now Phelan, deep three. No good.
Keep in mind as well, Joe, Raki Kane not starting the second half because of that foul trouble she got into in the first half.
It's a good eye you have there, Nick. I didn't even pick that up as that shot is short. And the rebound goes to Santos.
That could be an advantage for St. Michael's, but backcourt violation.
It was a backcourt violation. The turnover, the ball will go to CSI.
In the first half, Purple Knights shot 15 of 33. The Dolphins 9 of 25. CSI 0 of 7 from three-point range. And the Purple Knights were 5 of 14. So the shooting alone leaving a massive disparity between these two teams. The turnovers were pretty close, 17-15. But it doesn't matter whether or not it's close. Those numbers unacceptable for both teams as Edmonds nearly converted through the contact. But
they would have loved that and one right there.
She will head to the line. And Dolphins were gifted some opportunities from the line late in that first half as well. Missed a couple of free throws.
Yeah.
First free throw by Edmonds is good.
One more free throw for Shania Edmonds.
Second free throw, no good. Fourth miss of the game for the Dolphins from the line. That one tipped and stolen by Weesey. But she had it poked away from behind.
Yeah, that's a great play right there by Furch.
Great job to hustle back as Tyler lost it, but Rose got a piece.
The ball will stay with St. Michael's.
Very active start of the second half. Both defenses. I think it's a good defensive plays.
Talbot up top for Brophy, left open. That three-pointer way too strong, and Brophy had the rebound before being tripped up by Weesey.
And we mentioned with the absence of Kane right now in the start of the second half, that could lead to St. Michael's taking advantage inside of the glass and getting those second chance opportunities. And Brophy, following her miss, gets her offensive rebound and draws the foul.
Talbot back up top. Brophy thought about another three.
And offensive foul. Yeah, look.
Trying to pick up who they called that on.
Fouls on St. Michael's, number 20.
It's on Santos.
I believe that was a moving screen or a screen.
She now has 3 fouls.
Yeah, she'll have to check out.
Returning for the Purple Knights, number 14, Kelly Saplicki.
Quickly, she's forced to the bench. Saplicki checks in for her.
Not sure what the stoppage was there. Was it the clock? I believe it was.
You and I were both waiting for the same thing.
Back in the game
Clarification.
for St. Michael's, number 10, Bella Franchi.
Bella Franchi will check back in. This is Rose on the wing. Phelan way beyond the arc, calling for a screen.
Offensive
And
foul.
Another offensive foul. Two teams have already combined for 4 fouls in just over 2 minutes here in the third quarter. There's been just 1 point scored in the quarter, that coming at the line for the Dolphins. And I said it before halftime, the Dolphins have been able to get stops in this game. The two teams have a combined 39 turnovers now, 20 for the Dolphins and 19 for the Purple Knights. Tyler left open, air ball. Barnes for Phelan. She drives the baseline, feeds Edmonds inside, and the scoop layup is good off glass.
A nice job right there by Edmonds to get that lay-in on the post move. Cut this deficit now to 11. First field goal made in the second half.
Corner 3 for Saplicki is good.
She entered in for Santos.
First points of the half there for the Purple Knights.
Yeah.
Runner by Barnes, rolls off. Franchi cross-court pass for Talbot. And her three-pointer rolls off the rim. Offensive rebound, Tyler, put back, no good. But a foul is called.
Fouls on CSI, number 3, Shanye.
The Dolphins are struggling early on in the second half, Joe. On the glass, there's been a lot of offensive rebounds and second chances for the Purple Knights.
For number 24, Jayla Tyler.
Tyler's free throw good. Makes it a 15-point game again. And Tyler goes 2 for 2 from the line.
Returning for the Purple Knights, number 31, Ava McDonough into the game for CSI, number 11, Dasani Francis Torres.
Both teams making substitutions here. Dolphins trying every combination they can to try and ignite this team. Still within striking distance, but turnovers plaguing them, and now with 3 team fouls, that's something you have to keep in mind as well. Phelan back up top. Singer on the pull-up, high arcing shot, air ball, and Rose did not get the putback attempt off the time.
30-second shot clock violation.
Good defense right there by the Purple Knights. And I feel like it's at the point where the Dolphins, the shots aren't falling, and you got to think like you can't really hesitate at this point to keep shooting. You have to, at this rate, keep shooting because you're trying to find your way back into this deficit.
Montplaisir no good from 3.
This is Singer right there with the ball, gives it up to Phelan. Phelan driving, goes towards the basket, and she will be called for the foul. See what the foul call is on for the Purple Knights. I believe they're going to say it's on Montplaisir.
Number 15, Margaret.
If there is a path back for the Dolphins, that path back might begin at the free throw line.
13 fouls, St. Michael's, 2 free throws upcoming.
They've had their share of misses from there already in this game, but
Montplaisir now with 3 fouls, so he'll probably check out.
to your point, Nick, they can get the Purple Knights in some foul trouble and chip away with the clock stopped.
I thought initially they were going to check her out, but we'll have to wait till that second free throw.
Phelan goes 2 for 2.
She now will check out. Brophy will check back in.
22, Molly Brophy.
But you're right, Joe. The Dolphins have, both teams have 3 fouls to start this second half. And for the CSI, they got into the bonus to end the second quarter. Weren't able to get a lot of points off the free throws. If they could do it here in the second half and get some free throws knocked down, that could get them back into this game.
Big crossover by Furch. She gets inside and does not get it to go off glass, but another offensive rebound goes to the Purple Knights. Saplicki for Brophy. Kick out to Furchi. And her shot Franchi, excuse me. Her shot results in a foul call. Combine a couple of names there, Nick.
And once again, right, just a second close to the media timeout.
For Rose, that's her second personal foul, 14th foul on the Dolphins.
Dolphins now a foul away, though, from forcing the Purple Knights into the bonus.
We highlighted that earlier in the period. That was going to be a concern for the Dolphins.
Barnes will check back in, check it in for Rose.
And free throw attempt is good by Franchi. And she goes 2 for 2 from the line.
Purple Knights did a good job at the free throw line in this game. Singer in a lot of trouble, but the Dolphins, once again, Joe, turned it over.
Out of bounds, the ball will stay.
And it will stay here.
Wow, I'm surprised.
You had a good view of it, Nick.
I thought for sure they were going to call that out.
I let you take it away. It was all going down right next to you.
I thought for sure this was going to be out in CSI as we'll go to the media timeout.
4:50 to go, third quarter. Lead for St. Michael's over Staten Island is 16 points. Our score, Purple Knights 43 and the Dolphins 27.
Cheerleaders.
$4:50 to go, third quarter. Dolphins trail 43-27. Entry pass to Weesey. Quickly, she is doubled. Finds Phelan. Phelan, lefty floater is good.
That was a nice shot by Phelan.
CSI basketball number 10, Dana
From
Phelan.
beyond the free throw line. Dolphins back to within 14.
I think what was more impressive about that shot was she had to go to her opposite hand on that one to do it.
Well, good news for the Dolphins in this third quarter. They've held the Purple Knights to 1 of 8 from the field. But the Dolphins themselves are 1 of 5. That three-pointer is no good. Saved by Barnes. Phelan brings it in.
Try to go quick.
Phelan. Up top for Barnes. Singer crosses over to her right. And had the ball taken away. Brophy on top of it.
A timeout called by the Purple Knights.
Timeout was called by the Purple Knights bench, and Shannon Bolhart thought that Brophy had been grabbed around the neck.
Media timeout on the floor.
You're giving me the nod, Nick.
Yeah, she was.
I'm inclined to agree there, but timeout called by St. Michael's will send us to another break. 3:54 to go, third quarter. Dolphins trail 43-29. 3:54 to go in the third quarter. The Dolphins trail 43-29. And Nick, I mentioned it before the break. Neither team shooting particularly well here in the third quarter. Not a lot of points scored in the period. But if you're the Purple Knights, you're quite okay with that because you came into this half with a nice lead. And Dolphins really haven't done much to shrink that lead. They're right where they were to begin the third.
Yeah, that's 5 fouls now, the Dolphins, so free throws coming up.
First attempt by Talbot, no good. And Talbot goes 0 for 2. Before that, the Purple Knights were 5 of 6 from the line, and they were perfect here in the third quarter.
Yeah. Dolphins trying to keep that door open and try to get back in this game. It looked like there was a foul call, and it was.
Fouls on St. Michael's number 5.
Dolphins now, meanwhile, are 1 foul away from being the bonus.
They've called this game pretty tight, Nick.
Yeah.
Fourth team foul.
Much like that game we saw yesterday between Assumption and St. Thomas Aquinas. Deep three. Phelan knocks it down.
We get our first splash. I'll say it at least for ourselves. That's a monster shot for CSI. Down 11 now in this game.
That is the first Dolphins 3 of this game. In the corner, Saplicki back up to Brophy. Head fake by Franchi. Picks up her dribble, and Saplicki almost lost it. 7 to shoot now. Franchi on the drive, gets inside, can't finish. And Phelan takes it away from Saplicki and draws a foul. Free throws coming for the Dolphins.
Fouls on St. Michael's number 22.
Tide just starting to turn in the favor of the Dolphins. As Phelan, we'll see right here, knocks down a big 3. She grabbed the rebound on the other side, and she'll now go to the free throw line as both teams are in the bonus for the remainder of the quarter.
3:02 to go, third quarter, and with 2 free throws, the Dolphins could make it a single-digit deficit. First from Phelan is good.
The free throw made right here. The Dolphins can cut the deficit to single digits. And she does.
Phelan is 2 for 2 from the line. It's now a 9-point game.
Down as many as 18. It's back to single digits.
Talbot hesitates and kicks out. This is Tyler driving the baseline. Goes right at Wiese, can't finish. She'll try again, and the second attempt is good.
Yeah, she took advantage right there. Dolphins still playing a little bit small. They do have Kane back in, but she took advantage of that mismatch and gets the offensive rebound and the bucket back up to a double-digit game.
Phelan for Barnes. Barnes right back out to Phelan. Deep 3. Off.
That one shot from basically the fin.
That was a long 3 by Phelan. That shot no good, but the Dolphins do not box out, and Tyler makes them pay.
Tyler pretty much in the right place at the right time on that one. It's another second chance points right there for the Purple Knights. And Joe, I'm sure you have the tally of how many second chance points they have in this game.
We'll have that in a moment. 14 with that last bucket.
And Kane now has 4 fouls.
They kept her out of the game for almost the entire period, and seconds after checking in, she commits the offensive foul. That is a tough break for the Dolphins there, and Kane has effectively been shut out of this game via foul trouble.
Yeah, this is not ideal for CSI. Kane now will have to sub out for pretty much the rest of this quarter and a good portion of the fourth quarter, too.
She's been limited to just 12 minutes.
Was dominated last night. They just have not seen much of her today as there's a travel.
That's turnover number 20 for the Purple Knights. The Dolphins with 23. Just under a minute and a half to go. Third quarter. Rose over to Barnes. Barnes attacking, draws contact, and
should go to the line.
2 free throws coming up.
Fouls on St. Michael's, number 5, Ashley Talbot. For Talbot, that is her second personal foul. Purple Knights over the limit. 2 free throws upcoming for Stitchy Barnes.
First free throw from Barnes, too strong. Dolphins now 9 of 14 from the line. And 10 of 15 with that make.
Cut this back to single digits before the end of this quarter.
Talbot. Corner for Franchi. Dolphins did well to get to her. This is Tyler for 3. Way short.
What a heads-up play, though, right there.
And we've seen this more than once underneath, and I think it goes to what Coach Sarcone was talking about. The Dolphins just not boxing out, and that time not aware that a player came soaring toward the baseline and ultimately was able to throw it off Phelan. Tyler, right at Edmonds, gets the roll.
And see what happens. Dolphins look like could have had the rebound. They aren't able to do so, and because of that, second chance points once again for the Purple Knights in this game.
Tyler is 1 rebound away from a double-double. She has 13 points and 9 boards as Edmonds is off. And the Purple Knights come back the other way, leading by 14 again. Franchi in the corner. Dolphins looked like they were trying to keep it away from Tyler. Franchi has space. Can't hit. Dolphins have 12 seconds. Here comes Kyra Rose up the floor. Edmonds, bounce pass. Barnes, blocked and fouled.
More free throws coming up.
Fouls on St. Michael's, number 10, Bella Franchi. For Franchi, that is her
7
second
seconds
personal
remaining
foul.
in
2
this
free
third
throws
quarter.
upcoming
2
for
free throws
Stitchy
coming
Barnes.
up for Barnes. First is good. Barring quick takeaway and a bucket, Dolphins won't be able to get to within single digits, but they're still very much within striking distance. This is Talbot, defended by Singer. 3 seconds, now 2, 1, and Talbot not close to getting that shot off. It does not count. And we head to the fourth quarter. Our score, Purple Knights 49 and the Dolphins 37. Fourth quarter underway from the College of Staten Island in this final game of our 2025 East Region Conference Challenge. Pull-up jumper there by Franchi is no good as it hit the bracing of the backboard. And the Dolphins will have possession quickly.
CSI possession.
Trailing by 12 points. The Dolphins right now are without yesterday's leading scorer. Racky Kane on the bench with 4 fouls.
And she'll probably be there for a good majority of this quarter as well with those fouls.
I think it comes down to what this deficit looks like in a couple of minutes, Nick, as Kyra Rose knocks down the jumper.
Offensive foul.
2 quick stops for the Dolphins. Have their bench energized to begin the 4th. Fanatics liking what they see thus far.
First, that is her first personal foul, first team foul of the 4th quarter on the Purple Knights.
Barnes defended by Furch. Able to find a cutting Phelan, and she lays it in.
Nice cut by Phelan right there, and a great pass by Barnes, and it's an 8-point game.
A pass out of a double team. Not an easy connection there, and we have an 8-point game. Entry pass.
I think they called
And
a foul. They did.
And they called it not on defense of the entry pass. They called it on Edmonds along the baseline.
Yeah.
Give us a replay of that, Nick.
That is her 4th personal foul.
That's her 4th now.
And off the inbound, the Purple Knights waste no time. Santos with the lay-in extends the lead back to double figures. What do you see on the replay, Nick?
I don't really see much.
Yeah, Nick taking a look on our monitor. This is Rose on the drive, and she draws the foul.
Here's a second look.
Fouls on St. Michael's number 20.
Yeah, I don't really see much on that play. I'm not sure.
Santos, that is her 4th.
Well, you could see when that whistle blew, Tyler immediately signaling that she thought she was fouled.
Yeah.
But that's not where the call came from.
That's a costly one because Edmonds now has 4, so she's 1 away from fouling out.
Edmonds to the bench as well as the Dolphins nearly threw that away, and Barnes throws it in. Wow. Count the basket when the foul.
That was not an easy one by Barnes right there. Back-to-back impressive plays by Barnes. Had that double team pass to get the lay-in for Phelan, and now throws that one in, as you mentioned. Gets an and 1, and they really could use this free throw. Back at 8.
That's a new call, Nick. Count the basket when the foul.
Cannot get it in, though.
Can't convert the 3-point play, but Dolphins trying to keep momentum on their side here in the 4th quarter. And Saplicki misfires from 3-point range. That's a big miss.
Yeah, St. Michael's started to miss those open shots they were hitting in the 2nd quarter.
And that's how they built that lead. They had a lot of good open looks. Phelan. Splash!
Phelan starting to heat up, Joe. Second 3-pointer of the second half. It's a 5-point game with 8 to go.
Dolphins as close as they've been in the second half. And we still have nearly 8 minutes to go in this one.
A lot of time.
Franchi defended by Phelan. Puts up the runner, doesn't get it. And here comes Barnes the other way. Long outlet pass. And
good heads-up play by Tyler to swat that one away.
Dolphins are very fortunate that wasn't stolen.
Yeah. Dolphins will have a chance, Joe, in this possession to make it a 1-possession game.
7.5 to go from the tank. Barnes on the wing. Looks to drive. Fadeaway jumper. Won't go.
Barnes looking to draw some contact and draw a foul. But not able to do so. Misses the shot.
Furch had it poked away, and she was last to touch it.
Another good defensive play for CSI. That was Phelan that knocked that one for Furch. And it goes back to the Dolphins. Another turnover for the Purple Knights.
Barnes will bring it up as we approach 7 minutes to go. Rose back to the basket. Working inside. Banks it in.
And immediately you saw it, Joe. She took the basket, saw how much space she had inside of the paint, and was able to just get that contact and get the lay-in. It's a 1-possession game.
Purple Knights work it around the perimeter. Talbot on the drive, draws the foul. And that is one way to quiet this crowd, at least for a short time.
Singer, that's her second team foul on the Dolphins. 2 free throws.
Talbot to the line for 2 shots here.
Ashley Talbot.
She's 0 for 2 from the line thus far. Make it 1 for 3. And that free throw is good. Five-point game. Barnes into the corner. Francis Torres sends it back outside to Singer. Her feed for Rose puts Kyra in good position. And she was blocked, but Tyler controlled it on the baseline.
You can see the Dolphin bench, Joe. They were looking for a foul right there on Tyler after the initial contact before the block, but no call, gets the block, but Dolphins do keep the possession as she was out of bounds.
Singer right back to Rose off the inbound. Rose goes to work, kicks out. Barnes, pull-up jumper, rolls in.
Barnes has been heating up in this fourth quarter. She's making some big shots. It's a 3-point game again with 6 to go. And a timeout is taken by the Purple Knights.
Timeout, St. Michael's with 6:01 to play. The Dolphins are within 1 possession. Our score, 53-50, 6:01 to go.
Timeout.
Just over 6 minutes to play from the College of Staten Island. And the Dolphins have fought their way back to within 3. They lead this fourth quarter 13-4. They trailed by 12 after 3.
Joe, how are they messing this up? St. Michael's just called a timeout, and they were about to give the Dolphins the ball to inbound. I mean, that's just inexcusable. I don't mean to call the referees.
I'm inclined to agree.
I mean, that's just...
It would have been worse if St. Michael's let it happen.
No, thankfully they noticed it.
Of course they did, but
I've never seen that before.
It depends. Have they officiated 9 games this weekend as we've called 9 games?
I don't think so.
Because then I can excuse. I've had some blunders as Barnes rebounds the missed 3.
Dolphins with a chance to tie the game with a 3-pointer.
I think I really hit my stride at like game 2 or 3, and I've been on the decline since about game 7. This is Rose. Gets inside. Nice move and a nice finish.
Rose with another great move, and it's a 1-point game. The resiliency of this Dolphins team, Joe, it's been paying off in the second half.
And Barnes has the steal. And a foul is called, the 4th team foul against the Purple Knights.
We'll get a second look at that last bucket by Rose. Nice up and under, big lay-in, 1-point game. And you mentioned the foul now. St. Michael's is at 4 fouls, Joe. They are in danger of being in the bonus again.
4th team foul on the Purple Knights.
5:06 to go. That's a lot of time for the Dolphins to try to get into the bonus. And with a chance to score here, they could take the lead for the first time since the first quarter.
Phelan for Rose. For the lead.
Foul.
And she draws the foul.
I think they call a charge. They call the charge on her, though. Charging foul on Rose.
Wow. Run that back, Nick. That is surprising.
That is her third.
That's her third foul.
Third team foul.
What do you think on the replay, Nick?
She was in the area, planted, so I can see it, yeah.
For me, it was more of the angle that Rose took to the basket. It was hard to believe she ran over a defender. It looked like she was dribbling away from the contest at the rim, but a good defensive play nonetheless, and a big one. It keeps St. Michael's in the lead, and Santos converts the circus shot.
How did Santos make that one?
Wow.
Back up to 3.
That is a big basket for Santos and the Purple Knights. Bounce pass inside. Rose. Kick out. Singer, toe on the line. And they were going to rule that a 3, Nick.
Yeah, that's
Phelan will try. No good off back iron.
And as I said, there should be a foul right there.
Yeah.
Rose was tripped before she could get the rebound. That's going to put the Dolphins in the bonus, though, Joe.
Molly Brophy. For Brophy, that is her second personal foul. Purple Knights over the limit.
So the Dolphins, for the remaining 3:54 of regulation, are going to be in the bonus. And we've talked about it a lot in this game, Joe. They've got to capitalize on these free throws. Big ones up here for Kyra.
And that's off back rim.
You can hear how quiet the gym was on that one. Both miss. I think that, I was going to say that one did not hit the rim.
Well, if you're the Dolphins, those are 2 big points you just left at the free throw line. And now the Purple Knights, leading by 3, can make this a 2-possession game. Talbot almost lost control of it around the back. That was a dangerous pass as well. Tyler hands off to Brophy. Step back jumper. Way off. Franchi with the rebound, or at least received it following the rebound, and her jumper also no good. Under 3.5 to play now. Hop step by Francis Torres, handing off to Rose. And
Francis Torres was not ready for that pass.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass.
Jump
Quick
ball.
jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Dolphins.
Game for CSI, number 3, Sonia.
Kane and Edmonds both coming back in now with 3:18 to go, and that's a lot of offensive firepower and a good two-way presence as well, as we saw yesterday with Kane back in there. Dolphins get it in to Kane. Kick out. Goes to Barnes, 10 to shoot now. Barnes looks to drive, scoop layup, not close. It did not hit the rim.
Turnover.
Purple Knights secure it. Dolphins didn't have it very long after that miss. And all of a sudden, they've gone cold. Brophy with the head fake, draws the foul, but that's only 4.
Yeah, it's 4 on Rose now.
14 fouls as well. Good pickup. Didn't even realize that was 4 on Rose.
Rose, that is her 4th personal foul.
So Rose has 4, Kane has 4, Edmonds has 4. Point of attack is going to be trying to get those foul trouble to keep going up if you're the Purple Knights.
Talbot brings it back outside.
Yeah,
He swings it to Tyler.
And look where they have Kane right now position. She's playing up at the perimeter, so that might lead to something down low.
Edmonds defending Tyler, who does not get the roll. Rebound. Santos can't finish. Second try is blocked by Kane.
The Dolphins need to slow it down just a bit. Get out of that possession. Good job by the defense. Now, can they get some points on this possession?
Just over 2 minutes to play. The Dolphins still trailing by 3.
And Nicole Sarcoma call timeout.
CSI bench takes timeout.
That's a wise timeout, in my opinion, Joe. You guys try to slow them down. The intensity is starting to pick up. It's a 3-point game, 2:15 left in this one.
So the conversation for the Dolphins here, Nick, as we will refrain from break. 2:15 to go, 17 on the shot clock. What are you drawing up?
I'm looking to keep going inside the paint. It's what's been working for you in this second half. And I think the only realistic way you're going on the outside perimeter is you're looking for Phelan maybe on the 3-point line. You've seen Barnes make a couple of shots on the perimeter as well. I'm looking to go inside the glass. That's what's been working for you in this second half mostly. So figure out a way to get that. But, of course, inside the paint, they've got to be careful with the fouls. We mentioned it already. Rose has 4. Edmonds has 4. Kane has 4. So they have to be careful and have got to find a way to not draw a charge or an offensive foul in this spot. And they've got to find a way to get some points.
Dolphins will inbound from alongside their own bench. Barnes, the inbounder, finds Phelan. Takes the handoff well beyond the arc. Kane sets the screen, and Barnes was stripped by Tyler. Purple Knights can take as much time as they need here. They lead by 3. Brophy snatches it back and does not get the roll. Offensive rebound and putback, no good.
Rose needs help. Triple team. Dolphins will have numbers.
And that somehow got to Edmonds, and now Phelan in and out. Kane with the rebound, and she was fouled.
Oh, that could have been dangerous for Kane right there.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Nick. I don't know how Kane got that ball to Edmonds, and then easily Edmonds was able to find Phelan wide open in the corner.
Dolphins will be at the line again. They've got to make some free throws here, Joe. Now, they have to capitalize here. 2 big ones for Kane.
First free throw, no good by Kane.
That's been a big story in this game. The amount of missed free throws for the Dolphins could definitely be it's definitely the difference maker right now.
It's still a huge one. And it rattles in.
2-point game, 1:42 left.
Here comes Talbot. Barnes had to be careful there. The next foul puts the Purple Knights in the bonus. Brophy, no hesitation. Way off.
The Dolphins now have a chance to tie or take the lead with this next possession here. Amber Furch will check back in. She'll check in for Brophy.
.120 to go. Dolphins trailing 55-53.
A great way, Joe, to finish off what's been an incredible weekend.
It has been a fun weekend of basketball. Dolphins in this game trail by as many as 19 points. 12 to shoot. Phelan, pull-up jumper.
Fouled.
And she is fouled.
And this is the one you want at the free throw line, Joe, and Phelan. Arguably the Dolphins' best free throw shooter will have a chance to tie the game.
Ruby Santos for Santos.
Dolphins.
If Santos, if you heard, is out of the game, that's her 5th foul.
That is big.
That's a big loss for them because she had done some damage inside of the paint and rebounding.
She's been a factor both as a low post scorer and on the offensive glass. Phelan last year for the Dolphins, a 61% free throw shooter.
22, Molly Brophy.
Brophy will check back in. Dolphins hoping for a big 2-for-2 right here for Phelan.
Santos departs with 8 points and 8 rebounds. And Phelan calmly knocks down the first free throw.
Huge one right here. Dolphins trying to tie the game.
And that's
And
in
it
and out.
rolls out.
Dolphins trail by 1 with a minute remaining.
A minute remaining in regulation, 1 minute.
Purple Knights haven't scored in the last 3.5 minutes. Brophy hands off to Furch.
And Phelan call for a foul. That's going to put St. Michael's in the bonus.
That's a bad foul by Phelan.
On CSI, number 10.
Ran over the screen on that
Dana
play.
Phelan. For Phelan, that is her first personal foul. 2 free throws upcoming for number 22, Molly Brophy.
Bad time for her first foul of the game.
Yeah, Brophy will go to the free throw line. 2 huge free throws now for her. Fanatics trying to force some misses, but Brophy, cool, calm, and collected, knocks down the first one.
Talk about a big-time free throw.
This one, undoubtedly the biggest one of the game so far.
And that rattles out. It's a 2-point game, and Barnes travels.
Violation.
That just cannot happen immediately right after the rebound. Now the Dolphins needing to find another way to get a stop. 26-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
Inbound gets into Furch from the baseline. Dolphins do not have to foul. 12 on the shot clock, 35 seconds remaining. Purple Knights have to get moving here. Talbot uses the Tyler screen. Tyler working inside, scoop layup is good. And the Purple Knights lead by 4.
Timeout CSI. How big has Tyler been this weekend, Joe? Another big bucket inside of the paint. They got the switch at the last second. Kane had a good defensive play, but was not able to help on the help defense. And it works to perfection. 4-point lead for St. Michael's, 26.3 remaining in regulation.
And if you're the Dolphins, whatever you do here, you have to do it quickly. 26.3 to go. If you can, you'd love to get to the line, maybe hit a 3, anything to prolong this game a bit, but you have to find a way to pull to within 1 score.
I'm looking for a quick 2 if I'm CSI right here. Don't need to go for the 3 just yet.
If you do get stopped, but you execute quickly at the offensive end, you can foul and then hope for some missed free throws and stay in this one. Even 2 makes would keep it a 2-score game, but I think if you're the Dolphins, like you said, Nick, you're looking quick 2 here. If they give you the room to knock down a 3, you'd love that. But at the very least, you need to put points on the board or get to the line in short order.
Got to find a way. And we talked about, Joe, some of the missed free throws have really hurt the Dolphins in this game. And if they're able to get some points here, obviously now with them being in the bonus, that being St. Michael's as well, I think, you got to find the person you want to go to the free throw line to in that spot. Figure out a way to get the points first, and then figure out who am I going to foul on the immediate possession afterwards to try to draw those 2 free throws and hope for a couple misses.
Dolphins will inbound from in front of their own bench. Phelan the inbounder. Always have to watch the inbounder for a potential 3. Phelan drives the baseline. Floater. Rolls off. Rose. Offensive rebound. And she is fouled. You have to be careful there if you're the Purple Knights. Rose gets fouled and puts that in. All of a sudden, it could become a 1-point game.
That's her 4th.
Rose will go to the free throw line once again.
Upcoming for Kyra Rose.
They really could use a 2-for-2 trip here.
Free throw by Rose off back iron, no good. throws, hits the second. That makes it a 3-point game. If you're the Dolphins now, you're thinking turnover.
Yeah. St. Michael's does call the timeout. And, yeah, you're absolutely right, Joe. You have to look for a way you can force a turnover off at an inbound, or you get a 5-second violation. You try to force the turnover maybe on a press defense, but you're at that spot where a 3-point game, free throws, are going to be hurtful too, because St. Michael's has done a good job in the second half in terms of free throw shooting. So these next couple of seconds are going to be very important and vital to see who comes out with the win.
Well, if you're the Dolphins and you don't come away with the win in this game, it will obviously be disappointing, but I think a huge storyline in this game is the foul trouble. And I think that really shifted the dynamic of this game. Of course, the turnover is a problem. Both teams, however, were plagued by turnovers. And for the Dolphins, they shot more efficiently. They've gotten to the line more. They haven't been good from three, but the Purple Knights haven't been much better. I think the big number on the stat sheet is you had 2 of your key players and your 2 leading scorers from your season opener with 4 fouls, unable to get back in. And ironically enough, that's when the Dolphins made their run. They made the run without them on the floor, but I still think what Kane gives you at the defensive end and the scoring presence she offers along with that of Edmonds, I still think that changes this game if both of them are on the floor together early in the second half.
Franchi will go to the free throw line. Big free throws for her right here.
That makes it a 2-score game.
And it was interesting to note, on that inbound play, they had Furch wide open, but they went to Franchi because of her free throw shooting in this game. And you saw it right there, 2 big ones. Timeout Dolphins.
Do or die now for the Dolphins. Trailing by 5, they need a quick basket. And if you're the Purple Knights, I think you're thinking ahead of this possession. No fouls, no threes.
Yeah. They've got to find a way to just keep this lead. And I think, as you mentioned, don't allow a three-pointer. I think the Dolphins don't have to necessarily go for the 3 just yet, but they might have to on this possession in a way. If they can find an open look, then they're certainly going to take it. But if there's an opportunity given inside the paint to go for the quick 2, they'll take that one as well. So we'll see what Coach Sarcone will do in this possession right here. But, of course, afterwards, they will have to find a way to force a turnover or hope for some missed free throws.
And credit to the Purple Knights for fending off the Dolphins' run if they can indeed hold on. CSI hoping to put a damper on those thoughts for at least a moment. Deep 3. Phelan rattles it in! How about that shot from Dana Phelan? The Dolphins right back in it with 13 seconds to play, and Talbot is fouled.
Phelan shot that from another area, Kojo. That was unbelievable.
That is as long a three-pointer as we have seen made by a Dolphin not named Bryce Waterman.
That was past the fin, behind it, all the way behind the fin. Unbelievable. It's a 2-point game.
And now you only need 1 missed free throw to keep this a 1-score game. And Talbot misses the first.
Keep in mind also, Joe, the Dolphins out of timeouts, so they cannot draw up a play depending on what happens on this free throw.
This free throw is huge, and it is good.
Oh, my goodness.
Talk about a friendly rim. Dolphins out of timeouts, trailing by 3. They should if it gets low enough in time. Phelan, 4 seconds, steps back for the tie. Off the front rim, no good. And the putback will be inconsequential as the Dolphins' comeback falls just short in the final seconds.
Wow. I mentioned it earlier. What a great way to finish what has been an unbelievable weekend. Dolphins down as many as 19 points in this game and fought their way back and were just mere inches away from tying it on a buzzer beater. They fall on this one 61-58. But, Joe, we talked about it. This Dolphins team showed a lot of resiliency and toughness in this game. They were out their top 2 scorers from last night's game, fought their way back from a 19-point deficit, and were able to make things interesting. It meant as close as 2 points they got into in this game, but they fall the Purple Knights. And credit the Purple Knights, as you mentioned, too. Despite them blowing the big lead, they were able to hold on the Dolphins' late rally, and come out on top with their first win of the season.
Well, I mentioned how big of a role the foul trouble for the Dolphins played in the result of this game, and I think if you're CSI, you look at what you did in the second half, you have to feel a bit better about the way you played after halftime, specifically in the fourth quarter. They did win the third quarter. They effectively controlled the entire fourth quarter, but when it came down to it in the final 2 minutes, St. Michael's did what they had to do to close out a win on the road and improve to 1-1. The Dolphins, with the loss, are also 1-1 following the conclusion of this year's East Region Conference Challenge. But Nick, a very entertaining game concludes an entertaining weekend of basketball for us here on CSI Sportsnet. You and I, 9 games, 3 days. It's time to take a break. I head to Florida on Tuesday. You and I head to MSG tomorrow night. Plenty on the schedule for CSI this week as well. I will be with the team down in Florida for their second game. I do intend to cover that one audio only. We will see how the logistics work out there. I intend to cover it. We have not promoted that yet because I'm not sure if it is going to happen. But for men's basketball, they depart for Florida. They will take on the University of Tampa and number 15, Florida Southern College. So that should be a lot of fun down in Tampa and Lakeland. I will be at the game on Tuesday in Lakeland against number 15, Florida Southern. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman alongside Nicholas Bavona. Our next broadcast here on CSI Sportsnet
Saturday, I believe,
will be on Saturday, November 22nd. Adelphi University visits the Tank to take on CSI men's basketball. Until then, we thank everybody for joining us here on Sportsnet all weekend long, and for all of those who subscribe to Flow College in an effort to view us, we thank you for your viewership and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Once again, a tough loss for the Dolphins on their home floor as St. Michael's outlast CSI 61-58. Perhaps you'll hear from us down in Florida, but if not, we'll see you again here on Sportsnet on Saturday. Men's basketball takes on Adelphi. Everyone enjoy the rest of your Sunday night.